Hey guys, my name is Louise. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the new Fire Emblem Three Houses trailer we saw at the Nintendo Direct today. I know even for a video game fan base, the Fire Emblem community is especially hard to please, and I know more people who are unhappy with the trailer than who are happy with the trailer. But honestly, I'm really excited after seeing this trailer, so I'm going to pick it apart and compare it to the previous E3 trailer. And hopefully I can convince you guys to get a little bit more excited about the game. So let's get right into it. The most standout feature of this direct was indisputably the setting. In the previous trailer, Edelgard referred to us, the player, as teacher, which we now know refers to our avatar's role as a school teacher. Fire Emblem is taking a very different direction by taking a school-oriented approach, which is a bold move, but not necessarily a bad one. This made a lot of people nervous, but the way I see it, the school setting mostly serves as a great way to customize units and maximize replayability. My biggest gripe with it is that I feel like it's a somewhat lazy way to introduce a large cast of characters in one place, because normally on your journey, units join your army one by one in different areas of the conflict. However, I feel like everything we saw today was pretty early game, which I'll touch more on later, so that isn't to say that there won't be more units who join the battle later on in your adventure, likely characters who are older or more experienced in combat than your students. While this tells us a lot about the atmosphere of the game, Nintendo kept relatively quiet about the overlying plot. We can use some hints given to us by the E3 trailer to piece a little more of the puzzle together, for the sake of speculation. We start out with the pretty Ike-esque scenario where our dad is a mercenary, and we're given a professor job at the academy after discovering a unique power. What could this power be, and what is the significance? This is just speculation, obviously, but towards the end of the trailer, the colors reverse and some imagery of the Avatar, a bandit boss, and Edelgard flash before us, followed by Byleth successfully disarming the brigand and protecting our favorite aristocrat. Some people thought this might be alluding to some sort of Milla's turnwheel mechanic like from Fire Emblem Echoes, which this could be alluding to, but I think there's something a lot more here. Likely the rare power that was recognized within us before we were hired at the academy. There have been other characters such as Ninian and Nils who had the power to sense impending danger, and this was always regarded as a very important plot device in that game. Since Byleth is said to be the only one able to see the mysterious Sothis shortly after his employment, could she be responsible for this power? Anyway, now I'm really grasping at straws here, but listen to this clip from the first trailer.
Long ago, the divine Seros received a revelation from the goddess, a gift to help guide the lost.
While the trailer doesn't elaborate on what this revelation is, I think it could be the same foresight that Byleth has. Perhaps the goddess who gave it to Seros was Sothis herself. It's also clear that Byleth somehow has a connection to the Church of Seros, since the sword he's seen wielding in this clip matches the one that the green-haired holy woman from the church embraces in this shot. This is a little more obvious, but we're also told that the governing territories in Three Houses were once at war with each other. The E3 trailer talked about the infamous crests. They're said to maintain some kind of balance, but they're actually to blame for whatever chaos caused the conflict in this story. So while it might appear that the Three Houses are all happy going to school together and that's all there is to it, just learning and training, there has to be a lot more to the story. There's a lot of territory in the map in Fodland that isn't highlighted but still is named, such as the center of the map and other territories outside of the mainland. Could we be able to travel there, or does it have more significance to the story? So clearly there's a lot more to the story than just a high school simulator. Because the furthest boss we're shown in the brief explanation of the story is a brigand, I don't imagine that we'll be stuck in school for more than 10 chapters. Of course we do see an ominous sorcerer of some kind and some other dark imagery, but after we spent so much time trying to figure out the stone golem's significance to the Fate story, which was nothing, I'm not really going to delve too far into that as of now. With all the new gameplay that it's bringing to the table, taking some time to get used to the characters and their class, skill, and weapon flexibility might very well be justified. While this video is mostly focusing on hidden plot elements between the two trailers, here are some interesting things that I noticed that seem like new and rewarding gameplay mechanics in Three Houses. One of the things I'm really excited for regarding the school system is its role in class changing, weapon ranks, and skills. If you look at Linhardt here, you can see that she, or he, starts as a class called as a noble, and has weapon ranks for each kind of weapon, which includes all the ones we know and love, but also with a melee combat rank and some other interesting things. We see authority, and I don't really know what that is. Maybe it's like general leadership stars. Then we also have a rank for different movement types like flying, armor, and cavalry. And I'm assuming that you require a certain rank in these to reclass into a class that has armor or mount, kind of like how Edelgard needed a C and axes to reclass into a brigand. I believe that students are essentially like villagers or trainees, and you can choose their class path fairly early on in the game while they're in combat school. We see that Linhardt here is on a faith and reason path, which is some kind of magic, and that there's a weapon rank of D in faith. We then see this character healing Byleth, which what appears to be faith magic, so I think it's kind of like white and black magic from Echoes instead of the standard magic triangle. Either way, I think this is really creative, and I think it makes sense to have the students develop their combat training in this way. There's also this scene here, which looks like two students are fighting in multi-round combat. If you guys have heard of a fan-made prequel to FE7 called Immortal Sword, which I play on stream sometimes, they actually have a feature in battle preparations where you can pit units against each other in an arena-style match to gain experience, provided you have a healer to mend wounds. This seems pretty similar to that, and I'm looking forward to learning more about what we can do with our units in the academy. Now, another thing I'm quite interested in is this combat window. We do have combat arts, and we see a bow-wielding noble using curved shot. I'm guessing it's not like Echoes where combat arts are item locked, but it's probably something else you can study in the classroom. I'm also pretty intrigued by this gambit thing, which seems to be kind of a derivative of a support bonus. It's hard to explain why I think that, so let me just allow the trailer to speak for itself here.
Your students can also interact with each other at the academy, and by doing so, their bonds will strengthen, and they'll be able to better support each other on the battlefield.
So here we see 4 units in this Gambit boost bonus before Edelgard leads a formation of Great Knights. It's too early to say exactly how this works, how formations work, or anything like that, but I thought it was worth pointing out. Edelgard also appears to be reclassed here, as she's not in her school or default uniform. Since the squadron appears to be a promoted class, perhaps this is a promotion of hers too, or a different axe-wielding class? The last thing I wanted to point out is I think we might not have the option to customize our avatar. We see a form select for the avatar's gender, but nothing after, and the cutscenes are quite intricate, showing the avatar's face and other details. Robin has the advantage of a hood to avoid this problem, and the only animated cutscene with Corrin is pretty obscured by light. This scene here does look like it might use in-game models, even though they look pretty damn clean for models. But this one with Sothis looks to be like a raw animated cutscene. This makes me wonder if the player is able to reclass, or maybe they just can't at this point in the game where that cutscene plays. Either way, I'm not sure. Anyway, I hope you guys are looking forward to this game. Let me know if there's anything you think might have been overlooked in the trailer by the community, and have a great day.